Most unique thing here at the Grand Hyatt Manila Sunday Brunch buffet is they have a crossover between their regular buffet and the Spanish tapas buffet. And you can order several small plates from here, and we have gotten the Jamon Iberico and cheese croqueta, the mushroom risotto with Parmesan cheese, and their pork belly. And those are, I think, the three most recommended small plates items that are here. So if you're here and you're doing Sunday brunch, just know that here at the cellar, the small tapas, do try them first. 12 o'clock sharp, I think it's time to get some food as the buffet is just open. This might come as a disappointment to some of you, but I'm going to start with vegetables first because I tend to bog down at these buffets, and you know, I needed some different tactics to stay alive and do more food, you know, pig out on more food. So I'm gonna grab some, make a salad of my own. Yeah. Alright, so that's the salad I made. I mean, barely anything, didn't use any of that plate.
Are you also
So a couple of our tapas have arrived, and this is a Jamon Iberico with cheese croquette. They just fry it up like a croquette, and then it looks like there's some type of, looks like some spicy sweet jam to that. And then this is a mushroom risotto. And Parmesan cheese on top and some mushroom. Now then, first important part of business is to slice open this Jamon Iberico and cheese croquettes. Especially because it's Jamon Iberico. I mean, the finest Spanish ham in the world. I'll meet up as a croquette. And I'll put it in a little bit of this sauce. I think that croquette's mainly about the cheese and not so much about the jamon, to be honest. You see just a little bit of that there. But I really love the creaminess of this. Well fried. The only gripe I have is that Jamon Iberico is kind of drowned out by all that cheese. All the crispiness from the crust. Yeah. You don't really get to taste like that wonderful apricot earthiness that you get out of the acorn earthiness out of usual Jamon Iberico. So, a very comforting appetizer. The only thing is that jamon doesn't really stand out. But it's a nice appetizer. You know, to be honest, I think any jamon would have done just for this preparation. Didn't necessarily need to do it with an Iberico ham. And Dad has swiped off his portion of the mushroom risotto. As you would think, that you're expecting this to be really creamy, really earthy, really substantial, with nice arborio rice, which is a perfect thing to make risotto out of. So, I'm looking forward to this bite. There we go. Really love the mushroom essence from that dish. Good texture from that mushroom. Doesn't break apart very easily. And you don't necessarily want that because it releases more of that earthy mushroom flavor. The rice itself also is a little more al dente. Not, you know, absolutely smooth like puree. And of course, it's very creamy with the cheese. Not too creamy and not too gloopy. It's got the right texture. And because usually, like, even a simple dish like risotto, like this, you can get it wrong quite a good bit. This is about right for risotto. And I think that's the tapas round done. We're still waiting for our custom pork belly after this. And I think that'll be the next dish to go to. That risotto's done for. It's time to cleanse our palate a little bit. And to be honest with you, I'm not super hungry, so I'm trying to eat salad to whet the appetite. So I never really make salad on my own, to be honest with you. And that kind waiter has actually just put that pork belly on the plate on the table here. So salad, you're gonna have to wait a bit. We got some important business to take care of here. And here's this pork belly, and I'm told this is the Spanish style pork belly preparation. Although you have liver sauce here, it's like traditional, lechon kawali preparations and so on. That's some mango salsa right there, and then some apple jam. I'll pick up this piece here. Wow, very well fried. Practically chicharron. I'll take some of that applesauce. There we go. Wonderfully crispy chicharron, dense enough. Well, not that airy, but a satisfying crunch all the same. When the apple jam lends a little sweetness, I'm gonna be traditionalist about this and try this in some liver sauce. I'm tasting more Chinese five spice out of this pork rind. Just a faint hint of star anise, actually. But I may have gotten on the first bite with that apple jam just a bit more of star anise. That's why I'm thinking that's what it tastes like. More of that sample sauce. Wonderful chew. Wonderful crispness. So I'm really liking that chicharron. I'll have the meat in a bit with the mango salsa. Whoa. It's a big portion here. And this part doesn't want to release. And there we go, properly separated. And I'm gonna try this with the mango salsa. And this is some super sweet Philippine mango, quite soft. But dressed with some bell pepper and some onion. I'm not sure. I think I would have liked a little more tartness of the mango myself to make a salsa out of it, rather than it being quite like sweet. I mean, this is the kind of mango you put in chutney, I would think. I'm gonna try it with liver sauce. Meat itself is well cooked. Fat's not too, feels firm, just a little bouncy. And the meat itself, not super juicy, but good density and savory and juicy, and not super juicy, but nice and savory. Yeah, I really like this pork belly. I would say the meat, the skin has more five spice. Let me try this chicharron. There's a slight vegetal influence with the meat itself. So if you come here, those three tapas come recommended. The Jamon Iberico, again, kind of a disappointment because it doesn't stand out compared to the other ingredients of the cheese and such, but everything else, all those three, well worth getting. And to prove I'm eating my veggies, here we're gonna give the salad a toss. So I usually don't know the first bit of what makes really good salad myself, because all I do is just if it looks good, just put it in whatever dressing, whatever. I'll just do it. Very fresh, crisp greens with salad. I mean, basically, I just made myself a Caesar salad. And I'm gonna finish this. Hopefully, this will spark something as far as an appetite goes, and then I'll get some more interesting, serious food back in a bit. I'm so stuck in my ways. I'm gonna go get some sashimi next. Next up, I got a few slices of sashimi. They have some crab leg and they also have octopus, but I didn't elect to that. I'm just gonna get some shrimp. And then, of course, tuna and some salmon with a bit of soy sauce and some pickled ginger. Now, I remember at City of Dreams, their buffet, that Hyatt, they have some really good salmon. So let's see if the Grand Hyatt lives up to the hype of really good salmon. Yeah, it's kind of like the firm, buttery sashimi, salmon sashimi at the Hyatt City of Dreams. Very similar and very good. Next thing to try is a tuna. Eat that with some pickled ginger. Fish is really fresh. Just like how I remember it at Hyatt City of Dreams across town. And then lastly, and some of the shrimp. Very dense, sweet shrimp. I'm gonna finish this up. I'm gonna get some more interesting food. I feel like some bulalo. So instead of bulalo, I'm gonna made a beeline at the made-to-order seafood station. So I'm gonna get some made-to-order seafood. I wait for my made-to-order seafood. I got some made-to-order bulalo. It's a small bowl. This looks quite healthy. It has a lot of long green beans, some carrot, another cabbage. And right off the bat, you really smell that deep marrow broth of the beef. It smells buttery and smells like bone marrow, but I don't think there's any in here. And of course, you had to get some sausawan with soy sauce, calamansi, and some Thai chili. Or Thai chili. Let's try that soup out first. Very comforting beef broth. Not really. It's not actually unctuous. Just because usually when you have bulalo, that bone marrow is with that bone shank. The marrow from that beef shank starts rendering and melting, and you don't really get the kind of buttery mouthfeel from this. It's just really straight up beef broth, but has the nice deep characteristics of bulalo soup. And you can see it's not very oily. It's nice, very long bean. Nice, sweet, crisp green beans, nice and snappy. Now try some meat. Now it's time to try some of the meat. Just a leaner piece of beef, but good beefy flavor. Definitely tastes as if it's been stewing in that soup for quite a bit. Now, this is going to be interesting. Taking a chopstick, and you don't really eat it like it, and you can see it's quite tender. Into the sauce. And yeah, it's falling apart. The Bololo's falling apart. There we go. Love it even more with the traditional sauce. Especially that heat, the subtle heat that comes in. Now, you're gonna have to order some more of this because they don't really give you that much meat. I only got like 3 pieces of meat off of this. So, this is a good portion if you're, trying out Bololo in a buffet. This is a good portion. I would request them to put a little more meat myself. Oh, okay. There's 3 or 4 pieces of meat. This is a good sized portion to try out, and while you try out a bunch of other things here. So, back in a bit. Hopefully you get my seafood soon. So some of my seafood has arrived. Got some clams and mussels and some sauteed garlic butter, I think. So there are 3 ways you can cook it, and they tend to be on the safe side, not really some spicy kind. So let's see here. Now, compared to the City of Dreams, again, another Hyatt City of Dreams buffet, these clams are a tiny bit smaller from what I can make out. Just a tiny bit smaller. Now with a fork, and some of that butter there. Nice and sweet and plump. Again, the gripe really is, these clams are quite small. I was expecting more of the big fat clams, Manila clams you would get at the Hyatt City of Dreams buffet. Okay. Now then, the mussels themselves. Well, one just traveled over to the other, and I got 2 in one, like so. All right. Just dip this in some garlic butter. I just use my hands for this, and I swear, even though I didn't use hand sanitizer, this will not give me coronavirus. There you go. Plump waist, plump muscle. This is more up to snuff. They're the type you would get across town at the City of Dreams Hyatt buffet. So a lot of stuff to get through on this one. It's some grilled pompano. They have made to order, and they have made to order Hainanese chicken rice. And their specialties here. Let's spread some calamansi on our fish. Like so. That's the grilled pompano. Yep. See how easy this flakes off. Just a little bit of effort. Need some soy. Yeah, and there we are. Beautifully grilled, just charred enough. Pompano has such a nice soft texture, and it's well filleted. I only got the fillet rather than the whole fish because you want to try just a little bit, and don't want to, leave enough room for everything else. But yeah, I could easily eat a fish of that. It comes right off, quite tender. Oh yes. Parts of the skin nicely crisp from the cooking. Again, just enough char. And that flesh, nice soft silky flesh, left intact. There's a beautiful piece of pompano. Definitely a must order if you're here. And stepping aside from the Pompano, I'm gonna try some of this Hainanese chicken rice. Let's try the rice itself. So usually that's the best part of Hainanese chicken rice. There we go. It's suffused with quite a lot of ginger. A nice gingery rice. This chicken broth coats the rice perfectly for such a nice mouthfeel. That nice gingery chicken broth. This is a nicely made Hainanese chicken rice. Let's try some of that chicken. And some chili. Some ginger paste. Especially love the ginger paste. And some soy. And back in the ginger. And back in some chili. There you go. Nicely coated. And the chicken's a nice texture. Just slightly cold. Slightly, south of room temperature. It's real chilled. And of course with the ginger and that chili paste and the soy sauce. Blends it all nicely together. Let's get a complete bite here. Take some chicken. And some chili. Lots of that ginger. Cut it generously like that. And some soy. Onto the spoon. Get some rice. Onto some rice like so. And that completes that medley of flavors.
Thank you.
Nice warm soft rice with a great gingery suffused broth. And of course with all the other accoutrements. This is a really good Hainanese chicken rice for a buffet. Now, I did not plan on getting this. This is the spicy chicken noodle soup that you can get ready-made or made to order. And he ordered spicy chicken noodle soup.
Regular noodle soup, but it says spicy.
It said spicy on there.
Yeah.
Yes. And Dad has like the palate of a 5-year-old, and that's the,
It says spicy.
it said spicy. So he has the palate of a 5-year-old, and then of course he's like, a lightweight when it comes to spice. So like the littlest bit of spice is just going to set him off on edge. So I'll try this unplanned soup. I don't know if this has got a little bit of a curry thing going on. But it definitely has like some turmeric, and at the back end there's just a little warming heat. It's not spicy, it's just it's quite notable. And you got some mushrooms, some egg, and some cabbage. Where's the noodle in this? No, whatever the case. Yeah, this is quite good. It's just a chirp, like a light curry chicken broth. But don't tell that to the old man here. He cannot handle his spice. So this round is almost exclusively a Filipino food, except for the porchetta. But porchetta, I mean, either it is Italian or Filipino, it practically is the same to me. It's the same old boneless pork belly, basically. So that's what that is. And they had liver sauce. So you know what? That's Filipino food for me. What on earth is that? Dad, you got 2 awesome desserts. What is that? We're not getting to that yet. And then just a little garlic rice. We're not filling up on that really. A little chicken adobo. Some laing. This looks very nice. And some beef machado. What should I go for first? Well, of course, the Filipinized porchetta. Now, because I drowned it in so much liver sauce, it basically just tastes like boneless lechon. With a very satisfying crackling. It's very reminiscent of the pork belly from earlier. That's a Spanish tapa, which I will prefer because, you know, it's freshly made and it hadn't been sitting out for a little bit. But, you know, couldn't resist any of that porchetta because, I mean, I would not resist a big hunk of beef pork, now would I? Thank you. And the freshly fried tempura has arrived too. Got a medley of shrimp and vegetable tempura. Got a big vat of sauce. Very handsome, generous portion. To that tempura. Let's let that cool for just a minute and get us some greens. It's laing, which is some boiled, wilted down taro leaves. This will give a nice smoky, like a smoked sauteed spinach flavor. Yep. Quite good. And of course that coconut milk lends a little bit of sweetness, but it's not too much or it's overbearing. So, and it doesn't feel like it's overly pureed at all. You get nice, you know, the smokiness from the leaves nicely intact. There's a solid lying. We'll try some chicken adobo. This looks more like it's been colored in turmeric, I think. Kind of looks as if it was like, reminds me a bit of like tandoori chicken breast. I don't know if this is like the adobo dilaw preparation, so this tends to be drier. As far as like not that type, like a wet soy sauce sort of taste. You taste more of the vinegar. The meat itself is surprisingly tender. And this is like the end of the thigh meat. So if you like the dilaw preparation, this is probably for you. Not my favorite, to be honest, but this is a nice piece of chicken. Last of the Filipino food here. I'll try the beef Machado, which is a kind of tomato-based stew of beef. It's a little drier than I'd like it, but it has a lot of the tomato flavor that is seeped into the meat. And like I said, this is a very generous plate of tempura, freshly fried, made to order, so you know this is going to be really good tempura. Into the tempura sauce. The shrimp itself is nice and plump. The batter is nicely coated. Doesn't the shrimp is really almost left intact. Nice airy batter, and not too much, not overdone. But it's all about the plump sweetness of the shrimp. This is very good tempura. I'm gonna get some eggplant tempura now. Still quite hot to the touch. Nice satisfying crunch. Nice creaminess from the eggplant as well. In contrast to crispness. This looks like a really good plate of tempura, and it is. And I don't know if this is my swan song for the savory dishes, but I'll let you know once I find out, because over there, Dad has some amazing looking dessert. Amazing looking dessert. And I think, he didn't pick this out, they just serve it to him. It looks like some really decadent chocolate cake. And it looks like some red velvet cake. I didn't know Dad had such a sweet tooth. But there he goes, chowing down on dessert. So that's tempting right now. And we'll see what direction I go in after all this food. And I'm determined to finish it all. Well, do we dare go where no carnivore has ever gone before? Eating a Beyond Burger, veggie burger? Why not? My flirtation with getting a veggie burger at a buffet ended when they said it cost extra to partake in the veggie burger. So you know what? Let's save that room for dessert, shall we? So here's some mango panna cotta, some sticky date pudding, which looks like chocolate pudding to me, a chocolate eclair, and some apple strudel. But the apple strudel is missing something. I think it's missing something. Attendez la crème. La crème. Ice cream. You know, I didn't do that shot right. Let's do it this way. Well, you know what? It's not quite whipped cream. Well, let's just use vanilla ice cream, some awful strudel. You need a fork for this. But you know what? Forget that. Not very kosher, but you know what? Mixing ice cream and apple strudel sounds like my kind of jam. Jam. The pastry, though, it's kind of falling apart. It's not really kind of adhering. Yeah, the pastry shell is just kind of snaked around and kind of wiggled out of the filling. But so nice apple strudel. But it doesn't really flake like one. It just kind of it kind of tastes like more like an apple turnover. An American apple turnover than an apple strudel. Yeah, whatever. And in the wake of that apple strudel falling apart, I just have some of that date pudding. Sticky date pudding. A nice deep earthy flavor. Kind of tastes chocolatey. Tastes like coffee. No, not coffee. Tastes chocolatey. Nice date flavor, but not very pronounced. And I'll partner it with some ice cream. Basically like sticky toffee date pudding, bit of chocolate. Add more creamy component with that ice cream. And try some of that mango panna cotta. You know, remember that pork belly from that pork belly tapa we had earlier? The mango here, nice and sweet, but it ends with a nice tartness. You know what? If they exchange that mango with that, I think with that mango salsa, that would be a star condiment. And as it is, in the panna cotta, nice burst of sweetness, then overtaken by the nice bit of sourness, the tartness. For the panna cotta, I think they got their mangoes reversed. And then I'm gonna go over this chocolate eclair. And filled with nice milk chocolate filling too. Nice milk chocolate cream. That's my favorite dessert so far. I'm getting a bunch of other dessert because there's still some stomach space. So, more dessert coming up. Okay, one of their made-to-order dessert items is churros. Those Spanish churros. Spanish churros, not the type you find at Disneyland. Like those really long, twisty ones. If you grew up in LA or grew up in Southern California, you remember what a Disneyland churro is. This is not that. This is a smaller one. It's thicker. It's the type you would find in Spain. And of course, what you would find in Spain is the type of churro is this thick chocolate sauce. It doesn't look very thick though. Looks so soupy. It doesn't taste like Disneyland churros at all. This one feels slightly more substantial. Yeah, it's nice and crisp. Nice and crisp, slightly airier. Remember Disneyland churros, if I could remember right, tasted more starchy and more cinnamony. I'm trying to believe in that cinnamon here. Thank you. That's fine. Thank you. It's some in chocolate sauce. It's not really as sweet or decadent as I like it, as far as especially the chocolate sauce. Doesn't feel very robust. But the churro is nicely fried. I think it needs really to be better integrated with the cinnamon. All of a sudden, I feel a real fondness for Disneyland churros. Anyway, here is our crepe. So you can get made-to-order crepes here as well. Now this is kind of a disheartening thing for me. They ran out of Nutella before I ordered this. So you know what this is? This is what y'all call the Elvis Crepe. Why do you call it the Elvis Crepe? Because there's Skippy peanut butter and some banana in here. Hence, the Elvis Crepe. And as far as I remember, Elvis was really fond of peanut butter and banana sandwiches. This is just in crepe form. And this is just the end of it. Well. Now this tastes just like childhood too, despite me not really growing up with crepes. Or maybe because now I didn't eat peanut butter banana much as a child. And not much peanut butter jelly, but I always remember peanut butter on toast when I was, especially growing up as a child. So, well, Proustian moment as it were. Makes you wonder if the CIA interrogated anyone, any like leftist person, and really they used to have the torture techniques of like have them take LSD in an inordinate amount, but of course that was ineffective because it practically made vegetables out of people. They never really thought about thinking of all the Proustian things that can recall childhood in a way that will get them to tell the truth about something. Is that right? But of course, the scary thing is now we live in the surveillance state. Everyone knows what your preferences are to anything, so they would probably, jam some Nutella up your butt, up your nose. I was supposed to say butt, up your nose, and that will kind of get you talking, because you go back in childhood and you have your hallucinatory things, and maybe it's a troop serum in a sort of way, or maybe they'll just like torturing people. Anyway, I didn't digress quite a lot. All thanks to the Elvis Crepe. This is... I didn't know what to make of it because I don't really like peanut butter and banana stuff. But it's really rich. I wish I had Nutella though. Okay, I need to find the proper dessert to cap this off. Okay, it's almost the end of the buffet. Pretty much in a few minutes, I think. So I did get some last desserts. Some chocolate things and some cheesecake, and then what looks like a Tom Collins is not. Is it a Tom Collins, what you would call? No, if it kind of looks like an old-fashioned, that's because it's not. It's mango ginger iced tea. Okay. I think I'll, on this sweet note, put in some final thoughts for the buffet. Wrapping up with some final thoughts on the Grand Kitchen Sunday Brunch Buffet at the Grand Hyatt Manila in Bonifacio Global City. I do like the open concept of the open kitchens. So you walk into the space, it feels very open. It's an inviting space. There's a lot of light filtering through, especially in the middle of the day as you're taking your Sunday brunch. And you can see it's a quite transparent kitchen. You can see people preparing your food, and everything's freshly made to order. Not everything is freshly made to order. Let me put it that way. But you see smaller batches of food sitting out. There are these heavy, big vats of food. They're under heating lamps. You will not see that at the Grand Hyatt in Manila. Come for Sunday's brunch because you get to try some of the best at what's called the cellar. So you get some of their best tapas and paired with the buffet, and it's only 2,400 pesos. And that's 200 more than their regular dinner buffet on the weekdays or on the weekends. And with that in mind, what you want to do here at this buffet is get all the made-to-order items. That means all the made-to-order seafood, all the made-to-order Hainanese chicken rice, the made-to-order bulalo. Don't get the food that's been sitting out. Now, the only time I did was to try the Filipino food. And, especially for the purpose of the buffet, and I thought it was good Filipino food. I think what you should do is really take advantage of all the made-to-order station food. So, with that in mind, I do give the Grand Hyatt Manila Grand Kitchen Sunday Brunch Buffet a good positive review. And if you liked this video, please give me a like. If you have any comments at all, please leave one for me. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed watching several of my videos already. And there's plenty more where that came from as we keep traveling along and eating along around the Philippines, around Southeast Asia, around the world. And so with that in mind, I bid you adieu for now until the next video. And remember, the empire never ended.